everyone, it's Maria, and welcome to the Breaking Up with Toxicity podcast. Thank you for being with me today. Each week, I will connect with people as they share relatable life experiences. We will talk about and at times challenge reoccurring unhealthy and toxic patterns that keep you from the changes you want to see as you break these unhealthy cycles. So let's get started and see where this show will take us today. Be sure to listen and don't forget to follow so that you never miss an episode. Hello. Hi, everyone. It's Maria, and welcome back to Breaking Up with Toxicity, the podcast where we stop pretending dysfunction is just the way it is. Today, I'm calling you out, of course, lovingly, but yet directly. We need to talk about the insanity of thinking you can fix everyone's problem that you run into. You know exactly what I mean. I'll handle it. I can take care of it. I'll fix it. I'll take care of everything. The energy that has you running on fumes almost all the time. Whether it's your friend's constant chaos, your partner's emotional immaturity, your coworkers' incompetence, or even your kids and even your teenagers' meltdowns. You're out here playing the therapist, right? The problem solver, the peacekeeper. You're going to resolve this. You're going to fix it all, right? And what do you get in return for this? Burnout, resentment, and a calendar full of drama and chaos that doesn't even belong to you. That's the wild part because it doesn't belong to you. Okay, let's unpack why you do this, what it's costing you, and how to finally break the patterns. Because fixing everyone else's mess is not a personality trait, it's a trauma response with lipstick on it, everyone. Here's the truth. Most fixers don't even realize that they're addicted to chaos. Yes, you heard me correctly. You're addicted to chaos. When you grew up in an environment where things were constantly unstable, maybe one parent yelled at you, one parent disappeared, maybe love was something you had to earn, your nervous system got wired to feel safe in stress. So now, as an adult, when life gets calm, you actually panic. Like, what do I do with this? It's too quiet. There's not enough going on. So you start looking for problems to solve because the calm feels way too wrong for you. It's way off. You've mistaken chaos for connection. You think if someone's upset and you fix it, you've proven your worth to them. You think if you can just manage everyone's emotions, no one will ever leave. But let me be clear of something. This isn't compassion. This is called control. It's the illusion of safety that comes from being needed. You've built your entire identity around being the one who handles it all. I can fix this, I can change it. You're the emotional firefighter that's running around into every building or that's running into a building, except for it's actually not bravery. It's exhaustion in disguise. That's what that is. And every time you fix someone's problem, your brain gets a little bit hit of dopamine, the same kind of rush an addict feels, because for a moment it feels so good. You feel useful, you feel appreciated, you feel valued, and you feel loved. You feel so important. That's the insanity of all of this, chasing control in situations that were never yours to fix. Now let's talk about the real poison here, expectations. The expectations are what screw you up more than anything else because you keep expecting people to operate on your level of awareness, effort, or even emotional depth. You expect your friend to text you back because you would. You expect your spouse to know what you need because that's what real love is. That's what it should look like. You expect your coworker to take care of the project like you do. And when they don't, you spiral out of control. You start creating an entire emotional narratives in your head. Well, maybe I'm not important. Maybe they don't care. Maybe I should have done more. When in reality, they just operate differently. They're not wrong, actually. They're just not you. Expectations are like emotional contracts that the other person actually never signed up for. So let me say that once again. Expectations are like emotional contracts that the other person never signed up for. And when you hold them hostage to your unspoken standards, disappointment becomes inevitable and that falls on you. That's where the disappointment, the frustration, the anger, and the resentment also all occur. It's not the world that's letting you down, it's your own internal script that says, if I do enough, I will finally be enough. So ask yourself, are you helping people or are you auditioning for love somewhere? So let's dig into these thought patterns because your brain can be a bigger gaslighter than actual other people in your life, whether it's your spouse, your parents, your friends, your family, whoever it may be. When you don't know how to regulate your emotions, your mind starts doing mental gymnastics to make sense of your discomfort. And those patterns, those thoughts, which are also called distorted thinking patterns, are actually facts and are often just distortions. So let's take black and white thinking. This is when everything is either all good or all bad. Let's say your partner forgets an anniversary, they're heartless. That's your first reaction. Your kids talk back to you, whoa, they're so out of control. Or your boss criticizes one thing that you've did and automatically you're a failure. There's no gray area here, no nuance. The entire emotional responses around these extremes, and they end up burning bridges over misunderstandings. Now we're going to take personalization. Here's another one. You make everything about you. Your friend cancels lunch and suddenly you're spiraling. Did I say something wrong? Are they mad at me? No, they're probably just tired or just too busy. But your brain is wired from past rejections interrupts, but your brain wired from past rejection interprets neutrality as a threat. Now here's one more for you. Catastrophizing. You go from zero to apocalypse in 10 seconds. Your spouse doesn't answer their phone. Oh boy, they must be cheating. Your kid gets a C in school. They're never going to get into college. You spill your coffee. Oh geez, now my whole day is ruined. Does this sound familiar? Well, when you catastrophize, you live in the constant crisis mode all the time. And if you have an anxious attachment style, this is your personal hell because an anxious and attachment style does not let you breathe between triggers. You crave certainty, validation, and reassurance immediately. So you overfunction, over explain, over apologize, all in the name of fixing things, fixing people, fixing situations, whatever it may be. But what you're really trying to do is to regulate your own anxiety through someone else's behavior. And that is where your trap is. So I'm going to give you a few example real life scenarios. So here's one with a friend. Your best friend's been distant. You text them, she leaves you unread. Instead of giving her space, you start overanalyzing. You convince yourself she's mad, and then all of a sudden, you send three more follow ups. Now she's even quieter, and what you're doing is actually spiraling. You weren't trying to be annoying to her, you were trying to feel safe for yourself. But your fear of disconnection created this really very distance between you and her. And that's why maybe she is now also trying to avoid you. You weren't trying to be annoying, you were trying to feel safe for yourself. But your fear of disconnection created the very distance that you were actually trying to avoid. Now I'm going to give you an example for with a spouse. You feel your partner pulling back, and instead of calmly asking, you start fixing, cooking more, doing a little bit more, taking more, all in hopes of pulling them closer to you. They start to shut down because they feel pressured and maybe overwhelmed. You interpret their distance as rejection, they interpret your intensity as trying to be in control. And now you're both in a tug of war. And you know what happens? Nobody wins here. Next is your coworker. You take on their share of the workload because it's easier than fighting about it. You stay up late, you're stressed out and resentful while they clock out early without a care in the world. You're not helping them. What you're actually doing is enabling irresponsibility. And then we have the kids, your kid. You hover over them because you're terrified that they're going to fail. But by fixing everything for them, you rob them of the chance to learn resilience, responsibility, and to have good self esteem. Your control teaches them to depend on you and doubt their choices. And your exhaustion teaches you to resent them. And then you call it love. It's not love, it's anxiety dressed up as responsibility. So here's the challenge I want to leave you with. Before you jump into the fix mode, I'm going to take care of all this, please ask yourself, am I doing this to help Or am I doing this to calm my own anxiety? If you answered the second one, then you need and should step back. You don't need to save everyone to prove your worth. You can love people deeply without cleaning up their mess or trying to fix their lives. You can be supportive without being self sacrificial. And the next time your instinct kicks in to fix, say to yourself, that is not my job. That's not my storm. That's not my healing. Because peace isn't about controlling the chaos, it's about not letting it control you. So let me repeat that again. Peace isn't about controlling the chaos, it's about not letting it control you. And if this episode hits home, maybe it's time to stop chasing the insanity and start chasing the peace instead. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Maybe the friend who's always rescuing everyone, or the one who swears that they're fine. You can find more insight and tools on my website at mariashkreli.com. You can follow me on Instagram at Maria G. Shkreli. And remember, healing isn't about fixing everything. It's about finally realizing you don't have to.